right, so you're looking into decentralized AI
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah.
Specifically, you're trying to size up Bittensor against this newcomer, Hypertensor.
Yeah.
Smart move. We've got a stack of your research notes here.
Yeah.
And trust me, this is where things get really interesting, especially for your investment strategy.
Well, the thing is, it's fascinating how both platforms claim to be decentralized, but they approach it in completely different ways.
Okay.
And, understanding these nuances, these little differences, these are really crucial for deciding where to place your bets, right?
Okay, let's unpack this.
Sure.
We know our listeners are familiar with Bittensor, the AI marketplace, right?
Mm-hmm.
With its super commodities concept.
Yeah.
But Hypertensor is aiming to be something much bigger, almost a whole operating system for decentralized AI.
Yeah, it's a whole different...
It's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, like
It's almost like comparing a bustling city center to the foundation that it's built on.
That's a great analogy,
Yeah.
Bittensor is focused on creating this, vibrant marketplace for AI services, while Hypertensor is aiming to provide that underlying infrastructure for a truly, truly decentralized AI ecosystem.
So Bittensor is like a high-end shopping mall for AI.
Yeah.
But Hypertensor wants to be the land, the utilities, the whole city planning council.
Precisely.
Wow.
And that brings us to that core issue, decentralization, right? For a truly thriving AI ecosystem, one that's free from the control of, these big tech giants, decentralization is non-negotiable. It's key.
Okay, so are you saying that Hypertensor nails this more effectively than Bittensor?
Well, let's look at their governance structures for a second.
Okay.
Hypertensor, they use a democratic one-person, one-vote system for managing its subnets.
Okay.
Every token holder has an equal say, regardless of how much they hold.
Yeah.
This is in stark contrast to Bittensor, where voting power is directly proportional to your TAO holdings.
So Hypertensor is like a direct democracy.
Yeah.
Well, Bittensor is more like a shareholder meeting where the biggest investors just call the shots.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that raises questions about Bittensor's long-term commitment to true decentralization, right?
Yeah.
You remember Yuma Consensus, their initial hierarchical structure with that centralized root network.
Right.
Some would argue that undermines the whole notion of a decentralized system.
Hold on, though.
Yeah.
Bittensor is proposing a shift to dynamic TAO or DTAO,
right?
Which claims to give power back to all token holders.
Right.
Isn't that a step in the right direction?
It could be.
Okay.
But the details are still a little fuzzy.
Right.
Will the root network truly relinquish control?
Yeah.
Or will they find ways to retain influence? It's a valid concern for investors who prioritize true decentralization.
Okay, so Hypertensor seems to have the edge when it comes to governance.
Yeah, it seems so.
But what about the technology powering these platforms? Does that also play a role in decentralization?
Absolutely, yeah. So Bittensor, they built their own blockchain from scratch.
Okay.
Which gives them control, right?
Yeah.
But it potentially limits flexibility and interoperability with other systems.
Okay.
Now Hypertensor chose to build on Substrate, which is a modular and adaptable framework for creating blockchains.
So it's like Bittensor went for a custom-tailored suit,
yes,
while Hypertensor opted for a versatile toolbox.
Exactly.
What are the implications of that?
Well, Substrate's modularity, it potentially allows Hypertensor to adapt to future developments more readily, more easily, and it can integrate with other blockchain networks.
Right.
And ultimately foster a more diverse and decentralized ecosystem.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's like comparing a bespoke sports car to a modular SUV. One is sleek and specialized, while the other is built for adaptability and can handle diverse terrain.
A perfect analogy.
Right.
And this difference in approach, it's also reflected in their consensus mechanisms.
Okay.
Hypertensor utilizes nominated proof of stake, or NPOS, which is a well-regarded mechanism that promotes both security and community participation.
Break down NPOS for us.
Yeah.
Why is it significant in this context of decentralization?
In NPOS, token holders, they nominate validators to secure the network.
Okay.
This process encourages active community involvement, and it prevents power from being concentrated in the hands of a few large stakeholders.
So it's like a representative democracy where the community elects their security force.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sounds pretty decentralized.
Yeah.
But what about Bittensor? How does their Yuma consensus compare?
Well, initially, Yuma consensus featured a hierarchical structure with a centralized root network controlling key aspects.
Right.
While they are proposing a move to dynamic TAO, which aims to be more decentralized, it remains to be seen how effectively this transition will play out.
It sounds like there's a bit of a wait-and-see approach with Bittensor. Investors are essentially placing their trust in Bittensor's commitment to decentralization, while Hypertensor has baked it into its core from day one.
You've hit the nail on the head. This distinction is crucial for investors to grasp.
Right.
Are you more comfortable with a platform that's actively working towards decentralization, or one that has embodied it from the very beginning?
Good question. It is a really good question.
So far we've mainly focused on the philosophical and structural differences between Bittensor and Hypertensor.
Yeah.
But to truly grasp their potential, we need to look at what they actually offer, the AI services themselves.
That's where the rubber really meets the road, right?
Actually.
Investors want to know what kind of AI they're getting for their buck.
Precisely. So Bittensor, with its marketplace model, it focuses on specialized AI services, what they call super commodities.
Right.
Think of them as the building blocks for various AI applications like natural language processing or image recognition.
So it's like a buffet of AI tools ready to be plugged into different projects.
Exactly.
But doesn't this specialized approach kind of contradict their claim of being decentralized?
It's a valid point.
Yeah.
A truly decentralized AI ecosystem, it should be open. Right.
To a wide range of applications and services.
Yeah.
Not just a pre-selected few.
So where does Hypertensor fit into this?
Right.
Does it offer similar AI services?
Well,
or is it taking a different route?
Remember, Hypertensor's goal, it isn't to be a marketplace. It aims to be the underlying operating system. The foundation upon which a diverse AI ecosystem can flourish.
Yeah.
This means providing the tools and the infrastructure for developers to build and deploy any AI application they can dream up.
So it's like comparing a gourmet grocery store to a fully equipped kitchen.
Exactly.
One offers pre-packaged ingredients, while the other gives you the freedom to create anything you desire.
Precisely.
Wow.
Hypertensor's vision is far more expansive. It's about empowering developers, not restricting them to predefined offerings.
This sounds promising.
But what about the practicalities?
Sure.
How do these platforms incentivize participation?
Yeah.
And reward contributors?
Tokenomics, right.
Exactly. So Bittensor's token, TAO, it's primarily a utility token. Its value is tied to the computational work performed on the network. Miners and validators. They earn TAO by contributing to the network's operation and evaluating the quality of AI services.
So it's a work to earn model.
Right.
But doesn't that create a potential conflict? If the focus is solely on utility, won't that limit TAO's potential for price appreciation? Investors often seek a blend of utility and speculation.
That's a key consideration.
Yeah.
While TAO's utility, it does provide a degree of stability.
Right.
It might not offer the same explosive growth potential as some of their more speculative tokens.
So to trade off stable utility
versus the allure of potential moonshots.
Now, Hypertensor being a newer platform, it doesn't have as established a tokenomics model as Bittensor. Details are still emerging. But their focus on community governance, it suggests a system where token holders will have a significant say
Okay.
in shaping the platform's economic incentives.
Okay, so there's a bit more mystery surrounding Hypertensor's tokenomics.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which could be interpreted as both a risk and an opportunity.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Investors will need to carefully assess the evolving tokenomics of both platforms and decide which model aligns better with their investment thesis and risk appetite.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But beyond the nuts and bolts of technology and tokenomics, let's zoom out to the bigger picture.
Sure.
Which platform has a stronger potential for growth and adoption? Who's winning this race to decentralize AI?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it?
It is.
So Bittensor, with its established network and active marketplace, it definitely has a head start.
Good.
They've attracted a community of developers and users,
right? And
their platform is already delivering real-world AI services.
So Bittensor is like a seasoned marathon runner. Who's already clocked in some impressive miles.
Right.
But what about Hypertensor? Is it just a rookie trying to catch up? Or does it have a secret weapon?
Hypertensor's potential, it lies in its ability to attract a broader range of developers and users.
Okay.
Remember, it's not just about providing prepackaged AI services. It's about empowering the creation of entirely new AI applications and ecosystems.
So Hypertensor is more like a visionary architect.
Yeah.
Designing the city of the future, while Bittensor is managing a successful district within the existing city.
Exactly. Bittensor's success.
Yeah.
It depends on the continued growth and adoption of its marketplace model.
Okay.
While Hypertensor's hinges on the realization of its ambitious vision for a truly decentralized AI future.
Now, this all sounds exciting and promising.
Yeah.
But let's not sugarcoat things.
Sure.
Investing in either platform comes with inherent risks.
Of course.
What are some potential red flags investors should be aware of?
Well, with Bittensor, the main risk lies in its reliance on a single revenue model.
Okay.
The marketplace.
Right.
If demand for their AI supercommodities falters, or if competition from other platforms intensifies, Bittensor's growth could be jeopardized.
So it's a bet on the enduring appeal of their AI offerings.
Right.
What about the lingering concerns surrounding their transition to dynamic TAO? Could that pose a risk?
Absolutely.
No.
The success of dynamic TAO in delivering true decentralization is critical. If the root network retains significant control, it could undermine investor confidence and hinder the platform's long-term growth.
Okay, so it's essential to keep a close eye on how Bittensor handles this transition.
Yeah.
What about Hypertensor? What risks should investors be mindful of?
Well, Hypertensor's primary risk stems from its relative immaturity. It's a newer platform.
Right.
And its success, it relies heavily on the adoption of its technology and the emergence of a thriving ecosystem around its platform.
So it's a classic build it and they will come scenario.
Precisely. They've laid the foundation. But will developers and users flock to build on it?
Yeah.
It's a gamble, for sure.
It is a gamble.
And there are always unforeseen challenges.
Right.
Technological disruptions.
Yeah.
Regulatory hurdles. Even black swan events.
Yeah.
That could impact both platforms.
Right. Okay. So plenty of risks to consider as we wrap up this deep dive. What are some key takeaways for our listeners?
Right.
What should they be mulling over as they make their investment decisions?
Well, Bittensor it offers a more mature platform with a clear market focus.
Yeah.
But their long-term success, it depends on the continued growth and adoption of their marketplace model.
And they need to prove they can truly walk the walk.
Exactly.
When it comes to decentralization.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hypertensor, on the other hand, presents a bolder vision.
It does.
They're aiming to be the foundation for a truly decentralized AI ecosystem.
Right.
But their success relies on the emergence of a thriving community and the successful execution of their ambitious roadmap.
Right.
It's a higher risk, higher reward scenario.
It is.
So for investors, it boils down to this.
Yeah.
Do you back the established player with a proven track record?
Yeah.
Or do you bet on the up and comer with the potential to disrupt the entire game?
We've equipped you with the knowledge and the insights to make that decision.
Yep.
But the final call is yours.
It is.
Remember, the world of decentralized AI, it's constantly evolving. Stay curious, stay informed, and never stop learning.
Good advice.
Yeah.
And with that, we conclude our deep dive into Bittensor and Hypertensor.
Yes.
We hope you found this exploration insightful.
Until next time.
Yeah.
May your investments be wise and your AI ventures be fruitful.
Sustainability, that's the magic word.
Yeah.
For any long-term investor, right?
It is.
We're talking about the ability to weather storms.
Right.
Adapt to change.
Yeah.
And ultimately stay ahead of the curve.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
And when it comes to decentralized platforms, sustainability, it isn't just about technology. It's about the community's, commitment to the project's vision.
Right, because a platform can have all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
But without a dedicated community, it's like a ship without a crew.
Exactly. And that's where we see a key difference between Bittensor and Hypertensor.
Yeah.
Bittensor's community, while active and skilled, it's largely motivated by financial incentives. Their participation is transactional. They contribute to earn rewards.
So it's a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
But maybe lacking a bit of heart.
Right, like a band of mercenaries versus a group of passionate revolutionaries.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah. Now Hypertensor's community, it's different.
Okay.
They're not just in it for the potential profits.
Right.
They genuinely believe in the transformative power of decentralized AI.
Right.
And they're actively involved in shaping the platform's future.
So it's less about individual gain,
right,
and more about collective purpose.
Exactly.
That's a powerful distinction.
It is,
especially in the long run.
Precisely. Yeah. This shared sense of purpose, it creates a more resilient and adaptable community.
Okay.
One that's more likely to weather challenges.
Yeah.
And contribute to the platform's long-term sustainability.
Okay, so it seems like Hypertensor might have an edge.
It seems so.
In the sustainability department.
Yeah.
But let's be honest.
Sure.
Both platforms are operating in a volatile and unpredictable landscape.
Absolutely.
What are some of the biggest risks
right.
investors should be aware of?
Well, with Bittensor,
yeah,
the primary risk is their reliance on a single revenue model, the marketplace.
Right. Yeah.
If demand for their AI super commodities dwindles, or competition heats up, their growth could stall.
So it's a bet on the enduring appeal.
Yeah.
Of their AI offerings.
Right.
What about the whole dynamic TAO transition?
Yeah.
Could that pose a risk?
Absolutely. If dynamic TAO fails to deliver on its promise of true decentralization,
right,
or if the transition is poorly executed,
it could erode investor confidence.
Right. So it's a situation to monitor closely.
Yeah.
Now, what about Hypertensor?
Right.
What are the potential pitfalls for investors?
Well, the biggest risk with Hypertensor is its relative immaturity.
Okay.
It's still in the early stages of development, and its success hinges on attracting a critical mass of developers and users.
So it's a classic build it and they will come scenario.
Precisely.
They've laid the foundation.
They have.
But will the ecosystem flourish?
Yeah, it's a gamble for sure.
It's a gamble.
And there are always, unforeseen challenges.
Right.
Technological disruptions, regulatory hurdles.
Yeah.
Even black swan events.
Those are always a possibility.
They are.
Okay, so plenty of risks to consider.
Yeah.
As we wrap up this deep dive.
What are some key takeaways?
Right.
for our listeners.
Sure.
What should they be mulling over as they make their investment decisions?
Well, Bittensor, it offers a more mature platform with a clear market focus. But their long-term success, it depends on the continued growth and adoption of their marketplace model.
And they need to prove that they can truly walk the walk.
Exactly.
When it comes to decentralization.
Absolutely.
Hypertensor, on the other hand, presents a bolder vision.
Yeah, it did.
They're aiming to be the foundation for a truly decentralized AI ecosystem.
Yes.
But their success relies on the emergence of a thriving community.
Yeah.
And the successful execution of their ambitious roadmap.
It's a high risk, high reward scenario. So for investors, it boils down to this.
Do you back the established player with a proven track record?
Yeah.
Or do you bet on the up and comer?
Right.
With the potential to disrupt the entire game.
We've equipped you with the knowledge and the insights to make that decision. But the final call is yours.
It is.
Remember, the world of decentralized AI is constantly evolving.
It is.
Stay curious, stay informed, and never stop learning.
That's great advice.
I think so.
Yeah. And with that, we conclude our deep dive into Bittensor and Hypertensor.
We do.
We hope you found this exploration insightful.
Until next time, may your investments be wise and your AI ventures be fruitful.